Okay, so once again, I was thinking about actually sitting on the couch. You must wonder if there's something wrong with the couch. There is not. I like the couch. We'll see. Okay, so this is vlog 4. I'm trying to keep track of which is which. I have time, so I'm making time. My name's Brittany, and this vlog is a continuation from the previous part. It's about endocrinologists, working with them, and okay, so here we go. When I went there, I had already spent the money to get certain things tested. Like, remember, when I walked in the door there, when I got tested a few months before I went, I had already been dosing for like a year, and I'm on not only a form of estradiol, but I'm on progesterone. I'm on spironolactone, which is an anti-androgen, and finasteride, which is also an anti-androgen. Like a baby aspirin, 81 milligrams. And that was something I knew about, but I didn't really do until the endocrinologist said, you really probably should do this. Reduce your chances of basically having cardiac problems from the hormones. And as I spelled it out before, and I'll tell you again, straight out, hormones are super dangerous. You don't take any more than you need to, and you stay within, you don't go too high, no matter what. It's not like, I don't know, if you wanted to build something, say, you have one shift working on it and it goes so fast, you put 2 shifts on, it goes faster, 3 shifts, it goes faster, you double the number of personnel during each shift, it gets even faster. Well, this is not building a house or a building, it is building you. And hormones, before we get into the endocrinologist, I'll tell you that hormones do a lot of great stuff. Most of it, I think, is reality. It really does affect you. Some of it's placebo, which means you just think it does, and it does have a calming effect, potentially, as a placebo. So if I handed you a cube of sugar and I said, this is hormones, if you thought it was hormones, that's placebo. It just... Okay. Hormones do all this stuff you already know. They will redistribute fat. They will make your boobs grow. They will, soften the lines in your face. Right here, there is actually, I don't know the exact name of it. I don't care. But a lot of people call it the mustache muscle. Guys have this. When you're on hormones for a while, and you have to be on it for a while, this muscle will basically atrophy into a lot smaller version of itself, and it will affect your looks. It does have a profound effect overall. My face softened up a lot. When I'm more comfortable, I will show you before photos. And I dropped like 50 pounds, 50 pounds. 50. And you need to be in great shape. Hormones are rough. They are rough, and I'll keep telling you they're rough. I don't care if you get tired of it or not. If you want to have better success in your transition, you need to be in top shape. I'm in some of the best shape of my life. I can run up 10 flights of stairs and not be winded. And yeah, I do run occasionally, although I have bad knees, so I usually just walk. But I mean, if I'm up to it, I'll do an hour of cardio, an hour of stomach work, and then go for a walk. Done that. I don't always do that. I would be lying if I told you I did that. I'm close to my goal. I have done a lot. And, okay, the endocrinologist. I had some testing done before, saliva based, and it's funny. The research showed that saliva-based testing was more accurate than blood testing for hormone levels. I go in there and I tell him this. I even showed him the results. He says the opposite. Now, is he right? I don't know, but keep this in mind. He's in business to make money. He may be a doctor, but this is not Mother Teresa in a pair of pants, okay? This guy has the goal. You're in front of him, and he's wasting his time on you. If he doesn't make money, he's not going to want you in his practice as a patient. This is medicine in the United States. You can think anything you want of this. It doesn't really matter. This is not altruistic BS. This is a money-making business. Now, how does that translate into my experience? Well, this guy ordered up $2,500 worth of blood tests. Thank God my health insurance picked up exactly 90% of it. Closer to $2,800 and I sort of like put my hand over my face and did not pay attention to what he was doing. You need to have your nose in everything. When he orders up work to be done, I don't care if they're doing the blood work in their office or they're sending it out to a lab or you're going to a lab, or I don't care what flavor of this, it doesn't really matter. You're going to get billed the same. I got a big fat bill from this national laboratory, and I was fuming mad. I'm trying to fix my hair. I have like one hair like in my mascara and it's driving me berserk. Okay, it's fixed. And that was an enormous to-do, and I fought a lot to try to get that undone, and it did not get undone. And I'm paying the laboratory 10% of that balance per month, so it's like going to be a year before I pay it off. And I'm like, why should I pay these people any faster than I have to? Okay, but that didn't have to happen. You just and I'm going to make you work for this too. I will tell you the kind of testing I got done. I'll just say that everyone is different. It depends to some degree what kind of health you're in and all that. And I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't get certain tests. I'm just telling you the only thing this guy didn't test for was cholera, tuberculosis, and whether or not I had motor oil running through my veins. I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with him. I have no idea how long this video is going to be, and I should have checked. So I'm gonna have to guess, and that's not good. So here I am guessing. All right, so okay. Okay. 50. I'm still guessing. Okay. Around. Hang on a second. I know. Well, this is hormones. Truthfully, people who know me have told me that I have changed like this. Okay. So we have about 5 minutes. Maybe. I don't know. I may have brown hair with red highlights in it. It used to be more red. It was like a I don't know, like a I don't know, 5, I don't know, what do you call it, 5 double R, something like that. It was beautiful. Don't let him motor up all these tests. If you're if he starts wanting to do this and he's adamant about it, you get your purse, you get your stuff, and you tell him, go jump in a lake, I'm going to another endocrinologist. You are not going to want to pay that bill. And I wouldn't pay the consultation fee at that point. If he's adamant, refuses, well, that's the only way I could see you. No, that's not the only way you see you. That's the way you choose. There's no reason for all these blood tests. That's another thing you're going to have to research on your own. You're going to have to work for this. Transition is not about how well can I sit on the couch, and how, what can I get delivered to my front door. And that includes stuff off of eBay or whatever, like you start buying women's clothes and the stuff gets delivered by eBay, or by the US mail from eBay, or whatever. You're gonna have to go out shopping as a woman, and you're gonna have to buy. I was in the store the other day buying stuff, in the girls section, and I'm big. I mean, let's face it. You can see from my shoulders, and yeah, having a big rack will offset that. Big boobs, etc. And but I'll always be 5'10.5". You can't change that. You can't change the size of your feet. You can't change the size of your hands. Your bones are as big as they are. Your chest diameter is X. It's not going to change because you get on hormones. The bone structure doesn't change. Only at the hands of a plastic surgeon who is highly skilled, and only to a certain extent, which is not that great of an extent. And we're just talking about face. Can't fix feet. Can't fix hands. Don't let anybody try, because they're the most difficult parts of the body to work on. And if you get a bad vibe off your endocrinologist, especially with regard to the blood work, just leave. If you're unsure about what prescriptions he's prescribing to you, don't ask him for advice. He barely knows how to spell transsexual, let alone be able to tell you whether or not this stuff is good for you. I know this is a scary thing, but it's buyer beware. I'm sitting here and I'm being quiet, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this as a lady. Because what I want to say is, people do a lot of pretending. I stop and I think about how he acted and stuff. And he was very sly. This guy was New York Mob, Teflon Don. I don't know if you know who that is, but he was he headed the mob in New York and Brooklyn and stuff. What's the point? This guy was as well coated in Teflon as the guy from the Mafia. He was so slick. He didn't say anything about the blood test, and I forgot to ask. You bring a list and you put lab work constraints at the top, and you know exactly what's reasonable to get. And how do you find out? You call a bunch of clinics, you call a bunch of labs, you do however much work you need to do. Not a joke. You're much safer buying a car than you are going in to get, into an endocrinologist. You buy them on the street, you can. But I regress. You must know what you're doing. Look at my face when I tell you. If you see this face, people do that. Like, okay, if you don't know what you're doing, don't take them. It's driving me nuts. If you don't know what you're doing, don't take them. You can overdose. You won't die right away, but if you take the wrong stuff, you can end up getting a blood clot. You can end up having a coronary in your bathtub, and nobody finds you. They just find your corpse. And I know this sounds morose and complete horse crap, but it's not. Things happen. And it can grossly affect, in the most negative way possible, your life if you take too much or the wrong stuff. Do not take medroxyprogesterone, which is synthetic progesterone. At any cost, I don't care if somebody hands it to you for free. It is highly dangerous. It comes with a stack of warnings. You take the natural micronized, aka micronized progesterone. It's way safer, and it is different. It is not the same stuff. It has chemical. Chemicals can have. Let's say the chemical chain is this long, okay, and okay, see this little range right here? this is like, let's say just a tad of the molecule, whatever is potentially different between natural and synthetic progesterone, that tiny bit can cost you your life, the way your body synthesizes it. Progesterone can offset some of the negative effects of taking estrogen-related medications. I don't know if I call them medications. Hormones run everything in your body. They run everything. And you better know what you're doing. So, they run it from everything from, when a woman gets her period to, oh look, she's pregnant, we got it, she has to produce milk. All this stuff is very basic, and it's hormones that are doing it. And don't underestimate the potency of hormones. They will rewire your brain. You will think differently after the fact. If you didn't like guys before, you may find that you do after. Personally, I probably say, I notice guys a lot more, and I don't know where that's going to go, and I'm just going to see how it goes. Just don't rush anything, alright? Including taking hormones before you know what you're doing. Alright, bye.